Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Election Commission starts printing ballot papers. Recommendation later mandatory to opt in voters list. Kathmandu now open for public. President honors people involved in restoring the historic monument. Arrival of tourists encouraging in March, tourism entrepreneurs hopeful of business revival. Continuous bombing by Russia devastates Mariupol, thousands of citizens still trapped in the city. And Nepal wins triangular T20I series title, the host beat Papua New Guinea by 50 runs in the final. And now the news in detail. The printing of ballot papers for the upcoming local election has started from yesterday, a report. During a routine press meet organized by the Election Commission yesterday, EC spokesperson Saligram Sharma said that the ballot papers were being printed at the Janak Education Materials Center in Bhaktapur. According to Sharma, a total of 1.94 million copies of 77 types of ballot papers with 23 rows will be printed for the upcoming local polls started for May 13. However, ballot papers with 56 rows will be printed for Kathmandu district while Dolpa will have ballot papers with 16 rows. The Commission has already printed 180,000 sets of sample ballot papers to facilitate the political parties in election campaign and for voter education. The voters list can be obtained from the Commission by paying a certain fee. The Commission has fixed a charge of Rs 7,000 for nationwide voters list and Rs 5,000 for province level voters list. An official letter from concerned political parties is mandatory to obtain the voters list. Similarly, the voters list of the district can be obtained for Rs 3,000. The charge for voters list of municipality and ward level has fixed at Rs 1,000 and Rs 500 respectively. An official letter from the concerned political party or candidate vying in the election is mandatory to get electronic copy of the voters list. The Commission said that it has already implemented directives relating to voter education, election training, voter counting, among others. Senior Vice Chairperson of the CPN-UML, Ishwar Pokhrel, has said that the main opposition is no in favor of forgetting a coalition with any party in the upcoming elections. Pokhrel made it clear that the UML is not in favor of forming an alliance. However, there may be an agreement at local levels as per need, said the leader while addressing a press conference organized by the Chitwan chapter of Press Chautari, Nepal yesterday. According to Pokhrel, there might be a local adjustment as per need, which he said is an odd practice. He reminded that the party followed the local adjustment practice in the parliamentary election in 2048 PS. However, he said the party will not force any alliance with any other that was responsible for bringing down the UML government. He added that the party would try to emerge victorious in the elections with the help of the good activities done in the past and the commitments to develop activities. He also criticized the Election Commission for changing colors of ballot papers for the May 13 local elections without consultations with political parties. The historic Kathmandu Temple has been opened for the public from yesterday. Following its restoration, the iconic monument was damaged by the 2015 earthquake, a report. President Vidyadevi Bhandari has inspected the Kathmandu Temple yesterday before it was opened for the public. Kathmandu's mayor Vidya Sundar Sakya presented a key of the temple to the head of the state to mark the launch of the opening of the momentum of the public. On the occasion, the president expressed that she was happy to see the restoration of the temple, which holds historic significance and is listed in the World Heritage Site. She lauded the efforts to restore the temple amid adversities. The president termed the completion of the project as a testimony that Nepalis are confident and able to rise from the miseries and pains of the 2015 earthquake through collective efforts, stating that historic heritage sites like Kathmandu have a significant role in attracting domestic and foreign tourists. The president said it was the common responsibility of all to protect such property. On the occasion, the president honored all those who contributed to rebuilding Kathmandu and protecting the heritage sites. The Kathmandu Reconstruction Committee Chair and Province Assembly Member Rajesh Sakya said the project to rebuild Kathmandu cost Rs 305 million and it took 3 years and 8 months for completion. According to Sakya, the project was funded by Kathmandu Metropolitan City. Director General of Development of Archaeology Damodar Gautam said historic aspects and originality of the momentum were kept in mind while restoring the temple. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 32 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 842 after 39 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 978,507 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 965,715 people have already recovered. No new deaths from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from the virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 60 countries that has been affected by the virus. USA tops the list with 81.86 million cases, followed by India with 43.02 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 492.29 million people worldwide and has claimed over 6.17 million lives. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba returned home recently after a 3-day visit to India. The government claims that the visit was helpful in building political trust and for energy export from Nepal. A report. The relations between Nepal and India had soared after Nepal unveiled a pointed map of the country, which includes Limpuadhura and Lipulik. Despite the Supreme Court order appointing Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated him only after receiving a vote of confidence. The Deuba government was also under pressure after India said Nepal did not officially inform it about a government report that held India responsible for a person drowning in the Mahakali River. Although Dr. Prakash Saran Mahat, a leader close to Sher Bahadur Deuba, visited India ahead of the NC General Convention, this is Deuba's first visit as party president and prime minister. Deuba is said to have consolidated political trust from the visit. Analysts, however, say that Deuba violated diplomatic norms and protocols by visiting the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters to meet its chairman, J.P. Nadda. Deuba further said that the two countries discussed about resolving the border dispute through bilateral mechanism. However, the Nepali delegation did not mention anything about the implementation of the report prepared by the eminent persons group.
नेपाल र भारत बीचको जुन सीमा विवादहरू छ हैन प्रब्लमहरू छ त्यो प्रब्लमलाई चाहिँ नेपालमा र इन्डियामा पनि कतिपय बेलामा चाहिँ त्यहाँको राजनीतिक दलहरूले आफ्नो चाहिँ शक्ति गेन गर्ने टुल्सको रूपमा चाहिँ प्रयोग गर्छन्। यसलाई राजनीतिकरण नगरिकिन वास्तवमा भएको जुन प्रब्लम छ त्यो प्रब्लम सल्भ गर्नको लागि टेक्निकल टिमले चाहिँ काम गर्नु पर्यो। जुन कुरा चाहिँ भारतीय विदेश सचिवले उल्लेख गर्नुभएको छ त्यो ज्यादै नै महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा हो र यसलाई चाहिँ अब कार्यान्वयन गर्नु पर्यो।
Similarly, Prime Minister Deuba and his Indian counterpart also inaugurated the 132 kV Solu Corridor transmission line. The transmission line was constructed in Nepal with India's loan assistance of Rs 3.20 billion. Although Nepal has proposed India to import electricity from Upper Tamakosi, built with Nepal's own investment, the southern neighbor has been purchasing electricity generated from Indian investment. The visit is expected to facilitate the export of energy generated from projects with Nepal's own investment. And now the news from economic front. The arrival of tourists in the month of March increased significantly due to the decline in COVID-19 infection. The tourism sector is hopeful of the revival of the industry battered by the pandemic with a gradual rise in arrival of tourists. The Chief Executive Officer of Nepal Tourism Board, Dr. Dhananjaya Regmi, informed that the tourism sector has already recovered by 45%. He said that there are 15,013 Indian tourists arrived here in March. He further added that the overall number of tourists before the pandemic in March of 2019 was 15,606. Even the number of Bangladesh tourists has increased compared to 2019.
टोटल तपाईँको मार्चमा आएको जुन सङ्ख्या छ त्यसले चाहिँ इन्डियाबाट आउने पर्यटकको सङ्ख्या 100% रिकभर भएको जस्तो देखिन्छ है 15,606 थियो 2019मा भने अहिले आएर चाहिँ 2022मा गएर 15,013 पुगेको छ एक प्रकारले जम्मा 3% 4% मात्रै कम हो अदरवाइज हामी रिकभर भएको छौँ र एसियाका अन्य कन्ट्रीमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने बङ्गलादेशमा हामीले 2019को भन्दा पनि बढी भएको छ।
He said that Pokhara is a popular destination among the tourists. There are more than 100 applications seeking permission of trekking every day, and numerous tourists have already gone for trekking.
पोखरा एउटा उनीहरूको एउटा मेजर गन्तव्य भएर देखिएको छ भने अर्को चाहिँ प्रायः जसो ट्रेकिङमै गएका छन्। ट्रेकिङको पनि अहिले हाम्रो पर्यटन बोर्डबाट हामीले एफआइटीहरूलाई चाहिँ पहिला रोकेका थियौँ सुरक्षाको दृष्टिले अथवा पेन्डेमिकमा कोही बिरामी भइहाल्यो भने त्यो पनि खोलिदिएको छ। एफआइटी खोलेका छौँ ग्रुप पनि खोलेका छौँ र टान र हामीले हेर्दाखेरि इभन एन्ट्रीबाट यही आज हामी दिनमा 100 जनाभन्दा बढीलाई चाहिँ ट्रेकिङको पर्मिट इस्यु गरिरहेका छौँ।
Dr. Regmi added that Indian tourists should be treated well in order to expand the tourism market of Nepal. He said there should be ease of currency exchange and trouble-free entry for Indian tourists. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. The Ukrainian port city of Mariupol has been 90% destroyed after being besieged by Russian forces for weeks, Mayor Vladimir Vochenko said. He said that the sad news is that 90% of the infrastructures of the city is destroyed and 40% is unrecoverable. Vochenko said during a news conference, the bombings are incessant. Vochenko added about 130,000 people remain trapped in the city, which continues to be pounded by Russian bombardments, he said. Approximately 500,000 people lived in the city on the coast of the sea by Azov before the outbreak of the war. Many have fled, but others have not been able to leave the city surrounded by the Russians. Sri Lanka's opposition has rejected an invitation from the president to form a unity government, urging his resignation over the country's worsening shortages of food, fuel and medicines. The opposition's demand on Monday came an anti-government protest continued throughout the country over its worst economic crisis in memory and deepening mistrust in President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's leadership. Earlier on Monday, the president's office said the invitees, all political parties represented in the parliament, to come together to accept ministerial portfolios in order to find solutions to this national crisis. The largest opposition political alliance, the United People's Power, rejected the proposal. The people of the country want Gotabaya and the entire Rajapaksa family to go, and we can't go against the people's will, and we can't work alongside the corrupt. Top SJB official Ranjit Bandara told the Associated Press news agency. SJB and 54 MPs in the 225-member parliament, the left-wing People's Liberation Front (JVP), also responded by urging Rajapaksa and his one popular and powerful family to immediately step down. All 26 cabinet ministers handed in their resignations on Sunday after thousands of people defied a countrywide state of emergency and curfew and joined street protest to denounce the government. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. An all-round performance by Dipendra Singh Airi helped host Nepal lift the triangular T20I series title on Monday. A report. Nepal defeated Papua New Guinea by 15 runs in the final to clinch the triangular T20I series, which also involved Malaysia. Chasing a target of 169 runs for victory, PNG were all out in 16.2 overs with 118 runs on board. Siswao hit 666 and a 4 off 38 balls and scored the highest 59 runs for the visitors. Apart from Charles Amini, who scored 15 runs, no other players from Papua New Guinea was able to make any significant contribution in the run chase. Ari and Karan Kisi took 3 wickets, while captain Sandeep Lamichhane took 2 wickets. Earlier, Nepal were invited to bat first at the TU cricket ground and scored 168 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Dipendra Singh Airi hit 5 fours off 38 balls to score 54 runs, while Karan Kisi hit 33 runs, including a 6 and 5 fours of 12 balls, to remain unbeaten in the match. Asif Sheikh scored 29, Kusal Bhurtel 25, and Mohammad Adil Alam contributed 15 runs. Sema Komia took 3 wickets for Papua New Guinea, while Chad Super, Kabwa Morea, and Rili Hekuir scored 1 wicket each. Airi was adjudged the player of the match for his 54 runs innings and 3 wickets hauled during the match. He was also won the Player of the Series award for scoring 255 runs and taking 7 wickets in 5 games during the tournament. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Election Commission starts printing ballot papers. Recommendation later mandatory to opt in voters list. Kashtamandak now open for public. President honors people involved in restoring the historic monument. Arrival of tourists increasing in March. Tourism entrepreneurs hopeful of business revival. Continuous bombing by Russia devastates Mariupol. Thousands of citizens still trapped in the city. And Nepal wins triangular T20I series title. The host beat Papua New Guinea by 50 runs in the final. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.